Welcome to Friday Fish Facts. I'm your host, Ron DeSantis. We are here today with Twin City Guppies, Keng Lee. Keng Lee has got some of the most beautiful guppies you can find in North America. I am super excited to have Keng Lee on because guppies, who doesn't love guppies? I mean, I started breeding guppies for profit when I was 13 years old, and I know a lot of people here have bred guppies for profit as well. If you like guppies, this is the live stream for you. So I just want to say hello and welcome. Thank you very much for joining us today.
No worries. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. So I think we'll kind of go like what we normally do, and we'll kind of get the chat going, and we'll say hello to some folks in here that have been waiting for everybody. And then I've got some questions for you. And then after that, we'll get the chat going, and they're going to ask you a lot of questions, I bet. So I know we had Mob Guppy here. He was first. We had Daryl Dimer here. Hello, Daryl. We had Cheeto Burrito. We had Jason Brady and Dr. S. Petsotics, K-Town Reefer. Hello. Jamie McDonald. Hello. Mile High Plecos. Hello. Bam Aquatics. Hello, Candy Overhauls. Hello, Terry Lindsay. Terry Lindsay's a big guppy fan. Hello, Blue Waters. Hello, Reels Tanks. Hello, AC Aqua. Phoenix Aquatic 411 Legacy. That is Melvin. Hello, and Sam's Fish Tanks. And that is everybody who's in the house today. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. So I've got some questions here, and let's start from the top. Your first fish was a beta, right?
Yes, my first fish was a beta.
I think you've got the best first video out of anybody that I've ever seen.
Why? Thank you.
So how did you get into YouTube, or who got you into YouTube?
How I got into YouTube, who got me into it was actually Rob from Flip Aquatics. If you will, I got back into the hobby, and I was started to go in, and I remember me and my brother used to keep like cherry shrimps and yellow shrimps back in the day. So I was like, started looking up some shrimps, and I actually found Rob on YouTube, and I started watching Rob like hardcore. Like I binge watched him for like 2 weeks straight, every video he had. And then one day I was talking to him on I think it was Instagram, but I thought I was talking to Rob, but I was actually talking to Amanda, and she was like, if you guys ever get a chance to come down to check out the warehouse, feel free to come down. So I talked to my wife, and my wife said, let's go. And we made that trip out there, and I was talking to Rob, and Rob was actually the one who said, hey, you need to fire up a camera and just put your story out there and just see where it goes. And I'm happy he did, because by doing that, I got to know the whole fish fam and got to know everybody who's so upbeat and uplifting with the fish fam, and so supportive with the whole fish fam. And it's actually turned out to be a really good journey for me, and I'm enjoying it now.
So how did you meet Rob?
Just off YouTube. I watch him on YouTube, and I'll see him on live streams, and I'll talk to him on there. And one day they just said, hey, if you want to come check out the warehouse, come check it out. And took advantage of that opportunity. Me and my wife went down, met Rob, and ever since then, I was kept in contact with him, and I'm happy to say he's a friend of mine now. So
right on, man. Hey, okay, so let's back up a little farther than that. And how did you start selling guppies?
That was actually, I started. I got back into the fish hobby because if you watch the first video, I used to do it. Me and my brother used to have a fish room together, and then when my older brother passed away, I kind of shut everything down because I didn't feel like doing it anymore. Yeah. And then my wife got me back into it, and I started up doing it a little bit. And I started off with shrimp and some cichlids, some peacock cichlids, and I had that. So I had my peacock cichlid tank, and I had some shrimps, and I was looking up on Rob and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law actually got into the hobby too. There was somebody who we knew who had an empty tank, and he was like, hey, why don't you ask Keng if I know he's into a lot of fishes and stuff like that, see if he wants this tank. And my brother-in-law was like, if you're just giving it away for free, he actually took the tank, right? He was like, well, if you're just giving it away for free, I'll take the tank. So he took the tank, and then he contacted me, and he was like, hey, what's a really good fish that's easy to keep, that I can keep going and stuff like that. So I kind of talked to him more about guppies. So he got into guppies, and then he started selling a little bit here and there to the local people.
Yeah.
And then he was just kind of like, hey, you know about guppies, you know about fish keeping and stuff like that. You want to just kind of partner up and see where we can go with this. So my brother-in-law was actually the one who started the whole selling guppies for profit. And then we both kind of jumped in together. We teamed up. And then as it grew, it kind of took time away from his family. And he was kind of like, I'm going to step back and just kind of let you handle it now. So then he stepped back, and then that's when I took it full-fledged and kind of went with it. So it's kind of how that started.
How long you been selling them?
About 2 years.
Yeah.
About here and there, give and take. Yeah.
So I've heard you say before on another one of your videos that you get some of them from Thailand, right?
Yes. I get them.
So when you get them from Thailand, you get like a few of them, and then you start line breeding them, or do you kind of just get a bunch and then distribute from there? Or
when we first got them, that's what we was doing. We was ordering fishes for ourselves, and we would breed them, and then we would sell what we bred, because we loved keeping them and loved breeding them. So that's what we did. But then eventually we couldn't breed enough. So then people were like, hey, I want this, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want this. And then it kind of got to the point where we couldn't breed enough. So then we just started importing. So now I'm importing them in and selling the imports, and I'm also breeding to keep up with demands as well. So I'm kind of doing both right now.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to keep up with demands just by breeding, because, you know, it takes about 3 months before you can actually sell the fry or stuff like that. So
how many tanks have you got going right now?
Right now, I'm at about 80 something.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm at about 80 something, and then Corey and Joel and Jimmy came to visit a while back.
Yeah.
And Corey convinced me to turn my other half of my basement, because it's divided in half, into tanks too. So we're probably gonna go full-fledged on the other side. So we'll see how many we end up getting over on that side.
So we've seen a couple of your daughters at the Aquatic experience.
Yes.
And this seems like a lot of work. Like, you've got 80 tanks, now you might do the other half a tank. This isn't your full-time job. You have another job as well. So how involved is your family in helping you out? Like, does your wife help you with the fish and all that?
Yes.
Or is it more?
My wife is very supportive. I'm very lucky to have my wife be so supportive. When I go to work and my wife's home, my wife helps feed the fish and do water changes for me. So it's kind of we try to get it in as where we can with all the girls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in between, if I'm not home, my wife will help feed the fishes, help do water change. And when I'm home, I do what I can when I'm home. So it's always early morning, late night, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Working in the fish room. So
how often are you doing water changes on these things? They're mostly 10 gallons?
Mostly 10 gallons, yeah.
So how often are you doing the water changes on the adults and the fry?
I have a fry room, and it's on an automated water system.
Yeah.
So that gets about 10 to 20% water change every day.
Nice.
And then for my breeders, I do about 30 to 40 twice a week.
30 to 40 twice a week?
Yeah, 30 to 40% water change twice a week.
Wow. So going through your videos here, one of them has got 120,000 views on it. I think it's your fish room tour video.
Fish room tour video, yeah.
How do you get 120,000 views on a YouTube video?
To be honest, I have no idea. if I knew every one of them would be 120,000 views. That one, I don't know what happened on that one, but after I put that one up, it kind of went.
Did it take off?
I guess for as small of a channel as I am, it really took off on me, and I have no idea what caused it to go haywire like that.
Well, that's not your only big video. You've got, I think your second biggest one is on Red Tuxedo.
Yeah, the Tuxedo one went crazy too, and I don't know why those two went crazy, but all the other ones not as crazy. I don't know what I did.
You got a few big ones out there.
I wish I knew what triggered it to go like that.
I think we all do.
But I have no idea, to be honest with you. I have no idea what caused it to go crazy like that.
So a lot of your videos are on a specific type or specific strain of guppy. So what's your favorite guppy?
Oh, that's hard. What's my favorite guppy? That is hard.
Or what are a couple of your favorite ones?
The Super Dumbo Dragons definitely is up there. The Tuxedo Red Koi is definitely up there.
Yeah.
I had some top sword snake skins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, those were really nice, but I found out that like the smaller tail guppies are more attractive to like the more hardcore hobbyists than the big fancy tail ones. The fancy tail ones catches a lot of people's eyes, but then when you get like for like guppy enthusiasts and stuff like that, they like more, you know, the smaller tails for some reason. It's just it goes weird.
Maybe the small tails have more detail on them, where some of the big fancy ones are more just flowing without the specific design. Maybe I'm just
and it's weird because you get into different regions, and they talk, and each different region prefers a different kind of guppy, so it's kind of like all over the place.
Are you in the International Fancy Guppy Association?
I am not.
Have you heard of it?
I have heard of it. I want to join, but I have not joined.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay, so you were mentioning, we were just talking briefly before you went on, you've got a 125 at home. Is that all guppies? What other fish do you keep besides guppies?
So I have I had cichlids. I have peacock cichlid, a tank full of peacock cichlids. And then I have guppies, a lot of guppies. And then I got a swordtail, and I got plecos, like zebra plecos, bushy nose plecos, endlers, corridoras, stuff like that, shrimps.
Okay, besides the shrimp, do you breed for fun any of those other fish?
The plecos, I do. I'm trying that I breed my bushy nose plecos so that I can try to have at least one in each tank. The goal. And then I'm trying to breed my colony of zebra plecos if they ever breed for me. Who knows? Swordtails I breed for fun. I just got them about a month ago. They haven't dropped fry yet. But then my cichlids, I don't breed them. It's just a male peacock tank. Yeah.
So where did you get your zebra plecos from?
Actually got it from a local fish store here.
Oh yeah.
He got them in, and he's actually my cousin, so he got them in, and he knew I was from, and got them in, and then he called me up, or I saw him and I called him up and said, "You still got them?" And he gave me a deal, so I bought the whole colony he had on a deal, so which wasn't bad.
Cool. I'm just going to say hi to a couple of people here, and then I do see a question in the chat, so we are going to get to that.
Okay.
But we've got Rob93 here. We've got Mel, the Hawaiian Peacocks here. Brittany Arachnids is here. Bentley is here. JC Aquatics is here. I saw Aquafunk in here. HC Aqua, Sam Chavez, Just My Fish. If I missed, oh, the Aqua Apprentice. I just want to make sure I got everyone in here.
Bentley.
Learning to Fish Keep, Cameron's here, and Mile High Plecos is here. Now, we do have a question from Devin Peppers. He is asking, what would you recommend, the albino blue tails or your super blue eagles?
For me, I would definitely, if you're asking me, I would definitely go with the albino blue tails. The albino blue tails, how they look under a good light is ridiculously awesome. I love the albino blue tails. They're probably one of my top fishes up there.
Yeah, those ones are pretty cool. So how did you? Well, feel free, folks in the chat. If you have any questions, we will definitely read them for Keng. But well, we're still kind of scrolling for questions. You're just at the Aquatic Experience not too long ago, maybe a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, something like that.
Yep.
How'd you like it?
It was fun. It was different this year for me, at least. I went last year in Chicago, and I got to kind of just hang out and mingle with everybody, which is all fun. But this year, Rob was nice enough to let me scoot in on his booth and sell some guppies. So this year it was I didn't get to hang out as much as I wanted to with everybody, which was kind of a bummer. But I had a blast talking to everybody that came through, and then afterwards hanging out with everybody, going out to eat with everybody, and just a whole weekend full of nothing but fish talk and having fun. It definitely is something you should definitely check out if you've never been to one. It's absolutely fun.
Cool. I just want to say hello to LR Bretts, who's in the chat. Big fan of your channel, man. Welcome. Fish Dad 1, Chad H. Hello, how are you? Wicked Tanks. How are you? Now, Davis Fish Tanks. Hi, how are you? Okay, we've got a question from Mile High Plecos here. Have you ever messed up a whole line? Any big oopses?
Have I ever messed up a whole line? Yes, I have. Guppies jump. so it's not so hard when a female jumps to the wrong tank and you spot it the next day or something like that and you take that female out. But when a male jumps tank and goes into the next tank because you forgot to put the lid on it, and who knows how long he's been in there, you end up just kind of washing up the entire tank and going, well, there goes that line, because that male is probably bred with every single female in there or majority of them in there. So I have had oopsies where I just go, well, looks like they're all going to the community tank now. So, and restart the line. So you
do sell mutt guppies as well?
I don't sell mutt guppies. I have a tank full of mutt guppies or assorted guppies from all my that I have. But that's kind of a personal tank, I guess, because I don't like just throwing away guppies or just throwing away fish. I do like them. So I have a 75-gallon right now that whichever one I just go, well, there's too many males in here, or there's not, too many females. Well, I guess you can never have too many females or fishes that don't meet requirements.
Yeah.
Throw them all in the 75 and let them live their life out in the 75-gallon tank and let him go in there. So
we've got a question from Mel, the Hawaiian Peacock. Mel's wondering if you had a 100-gallon, what species of fish would you put in it? As many as you want, but just one species.
Once as many as I want guppies.
Guppies.
Guppies, because with that species you can have a full out variety of colors.
Cameron from Learning to Fish Keep is wondering, do you know why guppies have to jump?
Why guppies have to jump? No, I don't know why guppies have to jump.
As far as I know, as far as guppies jumping is, when they're in the wild, they're oftentimes in shallow streams. And what they do is they hop from little stream to little stream because there's dried up areas. So that's why, that's what as far as I remember, like, that's why guppies jump.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they jump because I've had it happen, but I don't know why they jump. And usually I'm always thinking maybe the females jump because they're getting harassed too much by the males. But when the males jump, I don't know. Sometimes males get harassed by females too, so like you never know.
In fish, just like in humans.
Yeah.
JC Aquatics has got a question. Have you ever thought about keeping saltwater fish, or do you already keep them?
I used to keep saltwater fish. I used to have a 55 saltwater tank that me and my brother had. But I've always wanted to try corals, but it scares me. Too many equipments, too much stuff, and I've never just.
I think it's a big money setup.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And a lot of people is like, it's easier than it looks and stuff like that. But like you said, it costs a lot of money to get everything going out at once. I just never dove into it. I love saltwater fish and corals and stuff like that. I just never kept corals myself, but I did used to keep saltwater fish.
Fancy Tail Aquatics is saying that he keeps or has kept a large call tank as well. He can't kill them.
Yeah,
I'm the same way. Well, I mean, right now I'm not keeping guppies, but I just give them away. Same with shrimp. If I'm going crazy on shrimp, I just give them away, like the ones that aren't perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people make them feeder fish too, which I guess is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let me scroll through the. I want to make sure that I catch all the questions here. We've got a guppies jump to catch mosquitoes, bugs. It's my belief they were introduced to many areas of the world to control mosquitoes and related diseases. That makes sense. Oh, so Rob's got a question that Mel's repeating here. So you can't pick guppies. What species would you have in the 100 gallon?
I can't. If I can't pick guppies, let's see here.
Well, you said you're into shrimp. I mean, that would be a crazy shrimp tank.
I am into shrimp. I would love to have shrimps.
Yeah, you going shrimp?
Yeah, I would probably 100-gallon species only.
Okay.
If I can get enough shrimps, yeah, shrimps would be good.
Shrimp would be cool. I know Rob's got a cool one.
If money was an issue, I would love an entire colony of zebra plecos, though.
That would be cool.
Right. If money wasn't the issue, if it wasn't guppies, I love zebra plecos.
I'm super into plecos. I'm like addicted to plecos right now. Like any type of pleco that I see that I don't have, I want to buy and I want to try and breed. That's like the fish that I'm really, really into right now. So let's get to another question here. We've got Lucas Bretz. Any new types coming out from Twin City Guppies?
Maybe. I'm talking to a breeder in Thailand right now, and I don't know. I know it's newer, but I don't know how true they breed. So that's kind of the hold up on whether these or not. But I'm always looking for something new.
Okay, cool. Another question in the chat here. Would you ever keep guppies without a lid on the tank, or is a lid essential?
Um, if you don't have other tanks nearby, then you're trying to keep the strands pure,
Yeah.
and you don't necessarily need one. I would always prefer one, but I wouldn't say you necessarily need one.
Okay, I got another question here. It's not a guppy question, but it's a plant question. Are you into the planted tanks?
Yes, but
Okay,
I'm no.
maybe we'll try. Maybe we'll try and answer this one together.
All right.
How much melting do you allow before you call a plant toast?
As long I've had plants melted totally and have come back. As long as it shows that there's a little growth.
I'm the exact same way.
Right.
If there's some form of life there, I'm
Right.
gonna hang on to it.
Right.
If it's in like a bigger tank, then I'm gonna move it to a smaller tank, because sometimes the light has trouble getting all the way down to the bottom of the big tanks. So if you got a little bud on the bottom that's struggling, I'll move it to like a 10-gallon or a 20-gallon or something like that, because the lights, there's not that much to go through for the light. So
Right.
that's the best chance to get that plant to bounce back.
Yeah, the most notorious ones that I found are like crips. They melt so bad sometimes. But then as long as you get that, if you have one stem that's growing up in the middle and everything else melted, I'd still leave it in there because it'll come back.
It's funny. I have the same problem with crips sometimes too, especially if I move them to another tank.
Mm-hmm.
They're like super luscious, and I move it, it goes almost all the way down, and then it bounces back for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, crips. Every time you move, even in like saying like I had some crips where you just move them within the same tank and they'll still melt back.
Okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to go back in the chat for in just a minute here, but I'm going to throw another question out to you. You were talking about going to the AGA in Washington. Maybe I believe it's in May. Is that something that you're interested in going to?
That is. If I can get the time off from work, I would love to go to the AGA. One, I will I would love to get my plant game stronger, and I think with everybody there, you can learn a lot from those guys there. But two, I've never been to an AGA, and it's in Seattle, so I can kill two birds with one stone and go to the AGA and check out the aquarium coop while I'm there.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm thinking about going. Maybe I'm kind of wondering if it's a one, because I can just drive. It's like probably 4 hours for me. I'm wondering, like, should I bring the kids? Because how are the kids gonna like it? Maybe it'll just be my wife and I. My wife's really into aquascaping, so I know she would really like it. So I'm trying to make it work where we can go down. I'm just not sure. My youngest is 5, and she's not as into fish as the rest of the family, although she did just get her first tank in her room. But we'll see. Hopefully. Okay, so I kind of missed the chat a little bit here, and I missed one question. What is a good tank mate for guppies?
What is a good tank mate for guppies? Guppies can go with a lot of things. Anything that doesn't nip big fins like the big guppies. I keep them with shrimps, snails. Had them in there with like platies and swordtails and stuff like that. I've never, they'll crossbreed, but the platies or the mollies, but they're as long as they're pretty calm fish, guppies will go fine with them.
Corey's maybe something on the bottom.
Yeah, Corey's. I've even kept them with bettas and not having any issues. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I got.
Somebody else is wondering what type of guppies you have. What's the best way for somebody to check out what type of guppies you have in stock?
The best way to see what I have available is to visit our website at twincityguppies.com.
Candy's mentioning that she got a massive crit from Lucas, and that one is not melted, so that's good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all of my crips melt.
Right.
I'm just saying every once in a while.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna have trouble with something, it's probably gonna be a crip. So we've got Bulldogs Tropicana. Hello, how are you? I have no luck with my plants. My pH is 8.5. Is there any plants I could keep? Not sure about that. Yeah, you could keep Anubias.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I would try Anubis.
Yeah, because a lot of
beautiful.
people don't know you can actually keep, because like African cichlids like the higher pH.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep Anubias with African cichlids sometimes. I've seen them not nip at the leaves.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes people think that a drawback is for African cichlid tank is that you can't have plants, but there are a few types of plants that you can have with them. Benjamin P is wondering if I have ever been a teacher because I have a teacher voice. Nope, never been a teacher. Do fish pee? Aquafunk is wondering.
I can't confirm yes or no, but I think it all comes out at once. Would be my guess.
Rob's wondering if any of your fish have smiled at you.
Has any of my fishes smiled at me? I would like to say yes. I think so. I would hope so.
Okay, so I'm just going to do something here because it just makes sense to me. Okay. I had to put Candy as a moderator in this because it didn't seem right not having it as a moderator here. But that doesn't mean like you have to work or anything like that. You can still just kick back and watch. Just, it just looked weird that he didn't have a wrench beside your name, so I threw it on there. Okay, so let me just see here. Have we got some more questions? Why am I not asking questions? Well, I've got a whole sheet of questions to ask. I just thought that it would be nice if some other folks have some questions, and Melvin's got one. You ever kept rainbow fish before?
I do. I have rainbow fishes as well.
What kind?
I got some Wapoga red lasers from Gary Lang.
Oh, you did? From Gary Lang?
Yeah, I got the Wapoga red laser, and I can't pronounce the other one, so I wouldn't say, but I got 2 of those species from Gary Lang. I got some dwarf neons, and then I got a couple from Jimmy when he came to visit me. He gave me a couple.
Out of his 125 tank?
Yeah, when he moved from Ohio to Washington.
Oh, okay.
He swung by and he left me a couple of the rainbows that he had, and I still got those. Yeah, so I do have a couple rainbows. I love rainbows. I have that 125. I would love to turn into a rainbow tank.
Yeah.
Just haven't had time to set it up and get everything going. But
they're super cool fish, and they're actually not that difficult to breed too. All you have to do is put some Java moss in there. And
yeah, I would love to get Gary Lang's Bozemantes.
Yeah, those are just amazing.
His have ridiculous colors on them.
Yeah, Jeff Rowe. Hello, Jeff Rowe. Jeff Rowe says that have you ever been a teacher? Because you have a teacher's voice.
Me? No, I have never been a teacher. My wife is a teacher, though.
Is she a teacher?
Yeah, she teaches first grade.
It's funny, my wife is an instructor at a college too. So
okay. Yeah.
Maybe we just get it from our wives.
There you go.
Hello, E-Money. E-Money's in the house here. Yes, we are talking fish. I have fallen way behind in the chat here. Okay, here's a question from Dr. S. What is an easy way to tell the difference between a molly and a platy? Because I get really confused sometimes.
What is the easy way? I wouldn't know how to answer that question, to be honest with you. Mollies and they do look similar.
I think mollies are a little bigger, maybe a little longer.
Yeah, mollies are a little more compact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Than platies are. If I was looking at them, I'd be able to kind of tell which one's which, but I don't know how I would be able to explain it into words for you on how which one's which.
Maybe platies are a little shorter and fatter, and
mollies
are a little more streamlined.
Mollies are shorter and fatter, right? And platies are longer.
Well, the mollies are the bigger ones.
Yeah, molly gets bigger than one of them. Yeah.
They can crossbreed too, but you get like a mule if you
do breed. They're sterile, right?
Yeah, that's right. HC Aqua is wondering if you have any issues with albinos eating fry.
Yes. Albinos are ridiculous when it comes to eating fries. I have seen my albinos hunt down their fries. Like literally hunt them down. So yes, albinos are notorious for, in my experience, are notorious for going after their own fry.
Priscilla's in the chat here. I think you did you meet her at the Aquatic experience?
Yeah.
Or did you know her from before?
Priscilla's awesome. Aquatic Express is the first time I've met her face to face. I've talked to Priscilla quite a few times. Priscilla is actually the one who did my logo for me. So,
cool.
All that
Aquafunk's just throwing in that mollies are bigger and slimmer, platyers are shorter and stockier. I guess stockier is a more polite word than fatter.
I guess
fatter.
Fat. More politically correct.
Yeah. I appreciate everyone showing up, throwing out the hit the like button. I appreciate that. Aqua Apprentice, Priscilla's my favorite artist. Well, Priscilla's the best artist.
Mm-hmm.
She did a beautiful job on the fish fan calendar on the cover, which I have ordered. I just haven't received yet. But Jadrin Aquatics, he's got the fish fan calendar coming up for 2019. Learning to Fish keeps wondering if any line of guppies give you extra trouble to breed.
Any lines of guppy gives me extra trouble to breed. Not necessarily trouble in the breeding aspect, but I have I have certain strands that are just notorious fry eaters, and that causes issues. So you don't get as much fry as you would like to get unless you're really, really on top of it.
Okay. Okay, I've got another question here from Ricky Ranchero. Best-selling guppy. What's your best-selling guppy?
Best-selling guppy comes in waves. So, best-selling guppies would be Super Double Dragons, Tuxedo Boys, Albino Blue Tails, and Blue Dumbo Mosaics. Dumbo Blue Mosaics.
I like those mosaics. Those are cool. Hello, Susie Q. Susie Q Aquatics is in the house.
Susie.
What is the biggest disaster that you've had in guppy room? Like, have you had like a disease spread or anything like that?
I have columnaris hit one of my 55 grout tanks, and that wiped out practically 90% of that tank. But that's my biggest disease epidemic. But I think the biggest disaster I've had was when the city did something to their water. We had like some water sewage issue, and the city poured a bunch of chemicals into our water, and I didn't know about it.
That just happened here too, and I didn't know either. And I got a massive ammonia spike.
Yeah, and I had a huge ammonia spike, and it almost wiped out like 50 to 60% of what I had because I wasn't paying attention to it. Like I came home one day and was like, because I have it on the auto water changer, and it's just like I came home and I'm like, half some of the fish were dead in the fish tanks, and some of them were like, gasping for air, and some of them were getting like ammonia burn and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what just happened? You know what I mean? So
I kind of learned that one the hard way, like because nothing ever was going wrong, so never testing water.
Yep.
And then by the time, two fish have just died in one day. What's going on? And then the next day one dies. By the time I fixed the problem, too many fish have died at the beginning because I'm just I got to try and do a schedule of like testing the water every once in a while because just waiting for fish to die is not good. Okay, I've got a question from Devin here. Can you colony breed albino guppies? I'm sure you can, but just want to ask how much harder it is.
Yes, you can. It's harder because you have more of the adults going after the fry.
Yeah.
So, if you're gonna colony breed albinos, I would get like a separate tank or a breeder box for whichever female you feel is gonna drop really soon. That way you can protect those babies. Otherwise, all those albino adults are just gonna go after those babies.
I've got a question from. Oh, I just skipped it. Do you still have albino blue topaz guppies?
I have some that I'm trying to breed out. So yes, I still have them. They're my breeders that I have, but I'm trying to bring some more in. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I can get them in.
Susie Q Aquatics is saying that she's got one of your tanks from AE, and she's got LR Bretts and Flip shrimp in it. That's her new favorite tank.
I remember seeing.
Hello, Angelo. How are you, buddy? And Priscilla says that your guppies are the best. The black ones at the AE. What were those ones called?
I'm not sure which one. I had two black ones. I had the faux blacks.
Yeah.
Really black, and then I had the metal blacktails. The one that has like they're black and they got like metallic snakeskin pattern on their body.
Oh yeah. Oh, you have a video on those, right?
Yes, I believe.
Yeah,
so.
I saw those. Those are cool. Wicked Fish Tanks is just saying that the community of fish keepers isn't the best in the world. I totally agree with you, my friend. Okay, here we go. Fancy Tail Guppies is saying that their biggest fear is an electric outage this winter. That would be a problem for a lot of people. Do you have backup generators?
Me?
Yeah.
I have a backup generator, but that I can grab. But I've never really had huge blackouts at my house.
Yeah.
I've been here for 4 or 5 years now, and I haven't had one blackout. I think
has it snowed yet in Minnesota?
Yeah, we got snow on the ground. It's not big. It's not like a lot of snow yet, but we got snow on the ground, a couple inches, but it's not heavy yet. But our when we do have blackouts, they're only like 30 minutes to an hour. They're not like the 6-7 hour blackout. So I'm not too worried about that.
I've got another question here. Do you use baby brine in your feeding regime?
Absolutely. I feed baby brine shrimp once in the morning and once at night.
So you feed your fry twice a day?
I feed my fries I try to feed them like 4 times a day.
You feed okay, cool. So you feed the fry 4 times a day. Hello, one fish, two fish. Welcome to the stream. That's cool. So you feed your adults like once or twice a day, and then the fry 4 times a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll feed them all baby brine shrimp in the morning, and then throughout the day I'll feed them various fish foods depending on what day it is throughout the day, and then baby brine shrimp again at night for my fries. And then for my breeders, I'll feed them baby brine shrimp in the morning, and then I'll try to feed them like a dry food or something like that at night, or baby brine shrimp again.
So rolling back a little bit to kind of the fish fam questions that are out here. So you'd already met a bunch of like kind of the heavy hitters in the fish fam before. Who did you meet at the Aquatic Experience for the first time?
For the first time, I met quite a few people. For the first time, I met John from KG Tropicals for the first time.
Yeah.
I used to watch him back in the day.
Yeah.
But that was my first time actually meeting him, and he's a real cool guy, down to earth, real cool guy.
Okay, I've got a question here. We've got Ray's Fishroom in the house. It says it was nice meeting you at the Aquatic Experience. Are your bluegrass guppies ready for sale yet?
Close. I have a bunch of them, but not to the point where I'm ready to let go yet. Yeah, you know, I'm still a hobbyist at heart, so I like to, you know,
for sure,
pour some stuff, but close, hopefully soon.
It's funny that Priscilla mentions that you came a long way from your first video. We actually, Priscilla, at the very beginning of this, we were talking about Keng's first video, which I thought was one of the best first videos of any YouTuber right away. I mean, how could you not love the guy from his first video? He tells the story of his childhood all the way up, like how he started, how he got into fish with him and his brother and all that, where he lived and where he came from and where he is now. You could tell he came from like a nice good family, and that he started one himself.
Thank you.
I think that's why everyone likes you. I mean, they like your guppies too, but you just seem like a genuine person and like a good dad.
Well, you know, I get it. You know, I try to help where I can, and you know, it's just you learn that life is just too short to hold grudges or do that kind of stuff. So,
Brittany's Arachnids is asking, where's a good place to buy fish online? Well, I'm going to start with Twin City Guppies if you're looking for guppies. But where's another good place to buy fish?
Aquabid.
Aquabid.
Yeah, Aquabid's a good place. You get a lot of good breeders from there, depending on where you want to buy or what you want to buy.
Mile High Plecos here says that he does not like your guppies. He likes your plecos. But he's a pleco guy. Susan from SLC Aquatics. Hello, thank you for joining us this evening.
Hi, Susan.
We are talking to King. We've got a lot of folks in this chat. A lot of good people in here. The Nano Tank is here. And then, so you're talking about going to AGA. There's some chat in here about who's going to Dallas, Aquashella. You're talking about going to AGA, which is in Washington in May. Do you have any other trips that you're thinking about going to?
I want to go to both Aquashellas as well. So it's just all a matter of if I can get them off from work. If I get off of work, I will definitely go to both Aquashellas. If I can't get the days off and I can only pick one, then for sure the Chicago Aquashella.
Why Chicago? Why Chicago over Dallas?
It's just closer to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to go to Dallas and check out Dallas, Aquashella, but Chicago is just closer to me, so it's just more of a realistic opportunity that I'll make it to Chicago instead of Dallas.
And I see a lot of people here kind of going to Dallas as we scroll through the chat here. Some people are going to oh, and then someone's asking about what you think of the IFGA, which we kind of talked about earlier, and you were mentioning that you like it and maybe you'll join.
Yeah, I like the IFGA. I think they're doing a good thing and they're a good club. I also feel their standards should change a bit. I know they've had those standards for a long time.
Yeah.
But now because the IFGA standards are based on like the delta tails, the big triangle tails and stuff like that. And you get a lot of like the half moons and stuff like that aren't as shown in the IFGA. And I wish they would show more of those type of guppies.
Jeff Rose wondering about plecos. We were talking earlier, Jeff. He's got some L46s that he's trying to breed. Will your hobby ever go to becoming a full-time job? Is that your goal?
I would love to have my hobby be a full-time job. Who wouldn't love to do something they love full-time, right?
Yeah.
If I'm lucky enough to get it there, then yes, that would be the ultimate goal, and that would be a dream job for me.
Well, it seems like you have a good problem to have, because you're saying like you can't keep up with breeding them all, so you have to kind of import more. And then as your YouTube channel is growing, I mean, you'll be making, I know it's hard to make money on YouTube, but you'll be making a little bit, right?
Hopefully that is the goal. I would love to have that happen.
So you started YouTube about a year and a half, April 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got, how long did it take you to get to about the 1,000 sub mark?
How long did it take me to get to 1,000 sub mark? About 6-7 months.
Okay, and then from there, so then in the last year, you've gone from, I mean, you're getting close to 6,000, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like 6 or 7 months that I got to 1,000, and then I went from 1,000 to 5,000, almost 6,000 now, within the last year. So it kind of skyrocketed for me, and that's all due to the fish fam, or everybody helping out, and Corey and Rob and Jimmy and everybody. You know what I mean? That's all. It wasn't me. This is the whole fish fam coming together and supporting.
The only thing I wish you would do is put out more videos.
I know
I know you're a busy guy though, man. You got your full-time job and your business.
I keep telling myself, hey, get down there, record something, do this and do that, and I don't get the opportunity, and that's what me and my wife are talking, and I promise you, in 2019, we're gonna go hard and we're gonna do more videos, and I'm getting geared up. I'm getting geared up for it. So,
what do you got, like a couple of topics out there that you're like, I really want to make a video about this and get it out there? Or are you gonna do more like showcasing the type of guppies that you have?
Well, I still want to showcase, because a lot of people still wants to see a lot of showcasing on the guppies and stuff like that. So I think I'd still showcase some guppies here and there, and then I got a couple of ideas in there where I think a lot of people wants to see where how the fry progresses.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about doing like a weekly update on a specific strand that anybody wants, and then I was also talking about, like with guppies, everybody can. The beauty about guppies is you can technically start your own line if you really worked on it, right? Yeah. So I was thinking about having a tank set up and having everybody like, hey, what would happen if which 2 strands do you want to cross to see what you get out of it, right? So if you crossed a super Dumbo dragon with a albino blue tail, you know what I mean? What are you going to get? And then kind of work with the line and post it weekly on the website, or on the YouTube, and see what kind of projects or what kind of guppies we can get out of that.
Just want to say something about E-Money Cichlids saying that I am a dead ringer for Jimmy Fallon. I actually get that a lot, and kind of thought, hey, I want to be the last live stream that's on every time, because I'm like the not yet ready for prime time, have a guest on kind of a thing. So I really appreciate that, my man. I also just want to say hi to Corvus, who's on here, who I have not seen on here before. Joel, I'm a big fan of everything that you do, so welcome. Thank you very much for stopping in.
Joel is an awesome guy.
Yeah. And Joel, okay, now I'm scrolling down the chat here, and he is saying that we need to find those round tails soon. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, Joel likes the smaller round tail guppies.
Oh yeah, like you were saying earlier.
Right. And the round-tailed guppies are more popular in like European countries. So if we can get somebody in the European countries that is willing to export them out,
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to import them in.
Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of cool people in here. Jason Fish Tropic, how are you, man? Thanks for stopping in, my friend. Let me just see here if I've got some more questions. Top Secret Aquatics is here. If I don't have any more, Henry is a great name. And some people are calling for Candy to post a video. Candy's smoking busy with all her mod work, but I think we'd all love to see a video of Candy's fish room. Maybe just do like a fish room tour of just whatever you have, even if it's only one tank. Well, I know you got Epistos in there. Like, let's see the Epistos. Let's have a little. You're a busy person, but anyway, okay. So we've talked about kind of like what you'd like to do for upcoming videos. Do you have like a specific video that you have coming up next that you're starting working on, or a release date or anything like that, or not yet?
Not yet. I think the next big project is expanding the fish room, and I'm hoping I can get, well, should be recording that, and that would probably be the next continuous project of how the fish room is going to expand.
What about any plans for future live streams for you?
Live streams are such a hot mess for me. If anybody's ever been into my live streams, they'll realize that live streams just don't do well with me. Everything and anything that can go wrong goes wrong, and I'm running around all over the place, and it's a hot.
Well, I mean, we've taken up a bunch of your time here, so if anybody has a question, we'll try and get one more question in here, and if not, then we're going to say goodnight to everybody. But I think, hashtag fish fountain. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'll take that. I've got, what have I got going on here? I've got a video coming out on Friday, and that's just a fish room tour because I've never done a fish room tour video. And then next week's guest, we're back to our regular Wednesday, 7 o'clock Pacific time, and we've got KG Tropical on. So looking forward to having John Hudson on next week. And Keng Lee, I mean, it was a pleasure getting to know you and getting to chat with you, and I really appreciate that you would come on here.
That was my pleasure, man. I had a blast.
All right, well then, without further ado, thank you everyone for coming on today. Thank you very much for the mods, for all your hard work. We had a great group of people in the chat today. It was really fun, and we'll see everybody next week for another edition, Friday Fish Facts.